we're going to talk about Colossians 3:23. Colossians 3:23, you all. You have to read the scripture for yourself and ask God for understanding with what this scripture means. Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters. I'm going to pause right there, right? That's Colossians 3:23. I stress this scripture a lot when it comes to working for people. Today and age, especially today, the year 2022, we got a lot of people out there that's lazy. You got a lot of people today that's lazy. Even while they're working, they lazy. And this is by choice. People want to be on the clock. People claim they going to work to make the money and to pay bills. But deep down inside, today, a lot of people don't like working because, period, they're lazy. You may have a handful of few people that may work at it because they enjoy it or they just feel that the task needs to be done. I'm here to let you all know that Colossians 3:23 is letting us know to work at it heartily, from our heart. And as for the Lord, meaning do it because God has blessed you with the job to do it. God has blessed you with the physics to complete the task of the job. And if you do it specifically for human masters, you may feel like you're being a slave, because 9 times out of 10, if you're purposely doing it to get it approved by the boss or whoever, and if they by choice choose not to recognize your completed task, then you're going to get in your feelings. You're going to get in your feelings, and you're going to feel like you're overworking just to be working, and you're not going to be enthused to continue to work heartily. I don't know if I'm breaking this down. My thing is this with people today, and that this is for people that's above the workers, like supervisors and leaders, shift leaders or whatnot. We talking about anywhere, factory workers, grocery shoppers, and restaurants, anywhere. Everybody has a leader who ask the workers beneath them, who get paid maybe like $2 or $3 or more beneath them, or who get paid $2 or $3 less than them. They could easily just say, well, do this or complete that. But see, here's the thing today, people. The supervisors or the leaders that's going around asking people or telling people to put on a task, to take on a task. The thing is, are they, as the leaders or the supervisors, are willing to do it? Now, if you have a supervisor or a shift leader or whatever who themselves are not willing, who themselves won't take on that task, we have a problem. In order to lead, you must follow. In order for you to lead, you must follow. In order for a leader to become a leader, they must have followed. But if we have so-called leaders out here who haven't followed or who is not willing to follow, then we have a problem as these people being leaders. Now, if a task needs to be done and won't nobody do it, it won't get done, right? It won't get done. Not only that, but even if the leader asks the team members to do something, and let's just say the team members still feel that they don't want to do it because they lazy or they just don't want to do it, we got them out there. We got them out there. And the team crew or whatever they still don't do it. They brush it off, make up excuses on why they don't want to complete the task. Then who is left to do it? You can fire people, you can suspend them, you can do whatever you want, you cut their pay. The point is, the task still need to be done, right? So who's going to do it? If we have shift leaders and supervisors and managers that had this attitude, well, I ain't doing it. Hell no, I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. It won't get done. Okay then, it won't get done. If you as a leader say, well, I ain't doing it, they hire you a leader. Why don't you just say, well, okay, they ain't gonna do it. They don't deserve they pay. They deserve a cut or whatever, or they deserve to be suspended, or I'm gonna write them up for not doing it or something. But get up there and do it. Why? Because it needs to be done. You can't say, well, I'm a leader and my job is just consistent just telling people to do stuff. My job is specifically just to tell people to clean. It's just to tell people to do this and do that. I don't have to do it because I'm the boss. I don't have to do it because I'm the shift leader. But that's not working wise. Because if you say I don't have to do it because of my title, then the team or the crew member may say, well, I'm not getting paid enough to do that task. We would be all day domino effecting 360 around the workplace, pointing fingers at who should be doing what. But the point is, the task just need to be done. I'm not doing it because I'm not getting paid enough to do it. I'm not doing it because my job is to tell you to do it. I'm not doing it because I got something going on health-wise. Well, I ain't doing it because I got to do all this other stuff. It just won't get done, right? But see, if we go back to Colossians 3:23, where it says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters. If we read Colossians chapter 3, verse 23, I'm going to stop right there on that verse because I'm going to go further. But if we work at things heartily as for the Lord, because the Lord is judging us, the Lord is watching us, the Lord is who's going to reward us, then we would do it because it's the right thing to do. It would be the right thing to do because it needs to be done. By the end of the day, it needs to be done. Whether we're getting enough money for it, or whether if we feel we need to beneath ourselves, put ourselves in a lower position as from managers to a team work, it doesn't matter. The point is the task needs to be completed. If we feel like, okay, well, I'm not doing it from my heart, I'm doing it because I want to be approved by my master, or if I do it, that means that I got to get outside of my cleanness, or I got to get outside of my laziness and go over here and bust my butt. I'm going to look and feel some type of way if I'm over here on my knees getting dirty. See, it starts with the mind. It starts with the thinking. If we work for the wrong reasons, things are not going to be pleasant while trying to complete the task. And then for the most part, the task may not even get completed the right way, or if at all. If we work and do things because it just needs to be done, it don't matter who do it. The point is it needs to be done. If the owner out of nowhere just come and feel that they need to complete a task because the crew weren't able to do it, or the leader over there was not able to put all the bricks down right or whatever, and the owner just decided to say, well, let me go on and give a helping hand then because it needs to be done. That's not saying that this owner is a slave. That's not saying that this owner is stupid for helping. That's not saying that this owner is a schmuck for doing something that he's paying the crew member. He choose to do it from his heart because it needs to be done. You have to understand the difference, people, in working for the right and wrong reasons. If people say, hell no, I ain't doing that, bam, you already a worker who don't care. You a worker who just rather just tell people what to do. But if you won't do it, and then you let your workers know that you're not even willing to do it. Hell nah. If you come off like that, then what makes you think your crew gonna do it? If you ain't willing to do it. If you as a leader say, oh, I ain't got no problem, do I do it? Then there would the vibe of your willingness will rub off on your team, and your team was like, oh, okay, well, if such as is willing to do it, bring him or herself down to a lower standard, and they willing to go on and do these tasks, then yeah, okay, well, maybe I should go on and do it. Maybe that's why they at the level that they are, because they bust their butt and they willing to lower them standards to get things done. That would make the crew or the team push harder if they see the leader lower themselves to get a task done, people. It's a domino effect. If you do it, then the next person would be like, okay, well, man, it would give them a push to do it too. If you keep being in this position like, I ain't doing nothing, I'm big and better than that, I'd rather walk around and keep my hands clean, I ain't doing that. Hell no. If you come off with that attitude, then the next person's gonna be like, well, man, why you saying it like that? Well, I ain't doing it either then. You said that like, ew, like, you know, who you better than us or something? What you mean? We can't be doing that to each other, people. So, if I come along and say, well, with all this shenanigan going on, if I decide to do it, I would do it because, first of all, it needs to be done. And then, second of all, I know it won't get done if I won't do it. It's tasks that I would do, and it's tasks that I have done because I knew or know that it's not going to get done, or because I know it's not going to get done correctly. So I may once in a while come outside of my little comfort zone and put on it or take on the task because it needs to be done. But I try to watch out because I can get taken advantage of as well. See, it's a difference in working at it heartily as if you're working for the Lord than working for human masters. You don't want to work too hard where you would get taken advantage of, because it would then become unpleasant. It will become unpleasant, and you will be attitude-ish, and you will probably quit because you're doing it for the human masters. You're seeking approval, you're seeking a raise, and you're seeking all the things that you want from the human master that you may not ever get anyway. Because the human masters, they don't care about you busting your butt. They may not even want you specifically to bust your butt. They was probably expecting somebody else to do it so they can give them all the praise. But if someone like you decide to step up because you want the praise, you may get it for a hot second, but that's it. So if you're seeking more, you're going to get your feelings hurt. I'm not advising people to not work hard. Just work heartily. Do whatever you do from your heart. Because if you do it from your heart, whether you get praise or not, whether you get a raise or not, you done it from your heart. You see what I'm saying? You done it from your heart because it needed to be done, and you just show workmanship. You show stewardship and you show workmanship, and then not only that, by the end of the day, Yahuwah saw that. And Yahuwah will be the one who's going to reward you for doing that. The human masters who see you doing that, who may not decide to praise you or who may not appreciate it, and let's not forget who wouldn't have done it themselves, they're going to get judged by Yahuwah too, and they're going to get their reward. Trust me, they're going to get their reward for not willing to do it. You got to understand what Colossians 3:23 is saying. Moving down, verse 24. Since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward, it is the Lord Christ you are serving. Anyone who does wrong will repay for their wrongs, and there is no favoritism. And I'm gonna go down to chapter 4, verse 1. Masters, provide your slaves with what is right and fair, because you know that you also have a master in heaven. So, if a master, like, when I say master, when it's saying like master slave, it's saying like speaking today as is boss and team player. So if a supervisor say do something, like complete a task, and they know that it's a little bit much for you to do, but yet they want you to do it, it's like a kind of unfair treatment. Do it from your heart. If you're not willing to do it from your heart, then I will advise you don't do it, because it's going to be a problem, and it's going to prolong at the workplace, and it's going to make your job more unpleasant, and it's going to become toxic. So probably find somebody else to do it or whatever if you know that they can complete the task. And now this is speaking on unfair treatment. Now, if your supervisor tell you or someone to do something and it's a fair treatment, don't have the attitude, oh, I ain't doing that. Oh, that's impossible. Oh, I ain't finna get down there dirty and all that. No, do it, and do it from your heart, because you know it's something that can be done. You can do it. You can go on and do it. It's not that your boss is telling you to be a slave, like, do something that's impossible to complete. If it's something that's possible to be completed, just knock it out. It needs to be done. Look at something that needs to be done. So it's a difference in, you could tell when someone is forcing you to just do something that's not job-wise. I don't even know how to break it down. If, let's just say, at a restaurant, if a team member is asked by a supervisor to, let's say, for instance, break down the garbage can out in the back, fix the latch on the garbage can. A team member, as if for someone who just makes sandwiches or who just pass orders out and drive through, whatever. If the manager say, I'm going to need you specifically to go all the way out there in the back and go in the dumpster and fix the latch on there and, get some screws and some screwdrivers and fix what need to be done, something that's way out of the task of their job duty. Something they have no idea how to fix, probably don't even have the tools to fix the things, that's kind of way out. Something like that is for like a maintenance, a janitor, or a porter should do that specific job. Not someone who's lame and just come in and just take orders or fix a couple of sandwiches. They don't even know how to fix sandwiches around there. So we're going to pull someone like that who probably have no experience, as you know, to go all the way in the back in the dumpster outside somewhere and fix a garbage dumpster that's leaning on 3 legs. Something like that, that won't probably be able to be completed by them. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like unfair. And not only that, but the supervisor won't even do that, because they don't even have experience in that. They've never even done that. So why would you ask a crew member who just probably started there to learn how to make sandwiches? Why would you ask that person to do something like that? You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff is like kind of like unfair. But if a supervisor asks a crew member to, go in and grab some buns and fill the bun holder up, for the other worker that's making sandwiches. That's not unfair. That's something anybody could do. That's something anybody can go and grab some buns down from a stack of buns and come and fill it up for the person that's fixing sandwiches. If the person that's fixing sandwiches not able to do it, they can get somebody out the drive-thru or somebody up front to go and grab some buns. That's nothing. A person that's up front or in the drive-thru shouldn't say, well, I don't do kitchen work. I ain't in the kitchen. I don't do sandwiches. That ain't my job. The person that's fixing sandwiches need to find the time to go and get their own buns. What? Let's come on now. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on what you're being asked to do, and it depends on the task. But the whole moral of this whole video, I'm gonna try not to keep y'all long. What I'm saying is, for the supervisor, if the supervisor is not willing to take on a task themselves, shouldn't dare keep themselves in a position where they need to ask someone beneath them to complete a task. If the manager is not willing to clean, if the manager is not willing to clean with the attitude, hell no, I ain't doing it. If they come off like that, you cannot be in a position to ask or advise someone beneath you to clean or to take on a task that you are not willing to do. Not because you can't do it or it's impossible for you to complete it, but you have the attitude, oh no, I'm bigger and better than that. I don't do stuff like that. I'm the manager. I'm the master. I'm the boss. I don't do stuff like that. My duty is just to tell you to do it. And, with that attitude, if it's no one there to do it, and it's just like 2 or 3 people there due to the, the labor or whatever, and that needs to be done. You see that it needs to be done, but yet you still don't do it because of your attitude about completing it in the first place. You don't deserve to be a leader. Videos ago, I talked about the guy who scrubbed the floor with brushes because that's what he can do, and he working hard to try to get things done and clean. He would see it out of nowhere and get that done because that's what he chooses to do from his heart. He see that it needs to be done, so he's willing to find time to complete that task. If a worker who fix sandwiches or who make milkshakes and stuff like that decide to say, oh, I heard that you spoke about that garbage can need to be fixed back there. It's on 3 legs. You know what? I have experience with fixing stuff like that. I can go back there when I'm done with whatever and find the time to go fix it myself. That's different. If someone who has the experience and just say, well, I'm going to do that from my heart. I got you. I can do stuff like that. I'll go on and knock that out. And then the supervisor may say, oh, wow, I didn't know that. Okay, cool. Then that's cool. I'll go on and when you find time, go on and knock that out for me. I appreciate that. You see what I'm saying, people? It's a difference in doing something just because your boss told you to do and you may not be able to complete it, and then doing something that needs to be done, but you will complete it from your heart. Not so much because you're being told to do it, but you're willing to do it because you can do it and it just needs to be done. But if you have a leader or a manager or a supervisor who bluntly tells the workers in the team, hell nah, I ain't doing it. You cannot have that attitude as a leader. You cannot have, if that's what you're about, keep it to yourself. Mumble it. But you don't throw it out there for the team, because the team is going to look at you like, well, if you ain't willing to do it, why you telling me to do it? If you're bluntly saying it like that, what's wrong? Why you won't do it? But see, these are people who don't work from their heart. These are people who are lazy by choice, but come off as if, oh, I'm not doing it because I'm the manager. That's not why you're not doing it. You're not doing it because you don't want to do it, because you're lazy yourself. Getting your hands dirty is just something that you don't like to do. You don't like to go an extra mile because that's taking the load off of you. You're going to miss something if you take the time out to put the pen and pad down and get up there and clean. You're going to miss something if you decide to go out there in that back and fix that, get the tools that you need to fix the leg on that garbage can back there. You're going to miss something. So you're not going to take off that type of task because you don't want to. But someone who wouldn't mind working for their heart would take the time out to do it because they can, they're willing, and it needs to be done. People, let's always keep Colossians 3:23 in mind. I, per se, wouldn't mind working to get things done. And I already know, me personally, I already know I'm not going to get appreciated. They may say, oh, we appreciate you, but deep down inside, they'll go and talk about me. They'll go and make up things on why they feel that I went and done it in the first place type stuff. You see what I'm saying? But I don't care. The thing need to be done, and I will be willing to do it because I know if I don't do it, it won't get done. Regardless of how it's being talked about, regardless of any of the negativity, the point is, it's done. It's taken care of. A worker that sees something that needs to be done and they go and do it, that's a good worker. If workers and managers see things that need to be done but yet don't do it, they're not good workers. They would sit back and talk a whole house mouthful of crap about what and who shall do what, and I ain't doing it, hell no, and they do it, he do it, and they need to be done, all that. But by the end of the day, it won't get done. These are not good workers, whether they getting paid 4-5 times more than the next person, whether they're supervisors, owners, and district managers, crew team, it don't matter. You are a horrible worker if you are not willing to work and get a task done from your heart. Period. I can find a hobo on the street, a bum on the street to complete something who I'm paying 40 other dudes $20 an hour to complete, and none of them will ever complete that task because all of them pointing fingers at who gonna do that particular task. Don't nobody want to work that task right there. And I could find a bum and pay him $5 or $10 less than what I'm paying these 20 people over here, and he'll go over there and knock it out and kick A. He will spot it out and get it done. And guess what? After this hobo have completed that, after I done pay him $5 or $10 cheaper than these 20 workers I done hired, I'm firing all of them. And I'm going to hire this hobo to continue on with the job. You have to look at your salespeople. You can't pat yourself on the back and say, I did a good job by telling somebody else to do something. Even though me, oh no, I ain't doing it. I feel so good about myself doing something like that. I particularly will feel horrible if I tell somebody to do something that I'm not willing to do. I will feel horrible. Let's get it together, baby. That's what I'm saying. You know, today, these are the last days. People are lazy. People are selfish, braggers, full of pride, and would be so horribly quick to complain when things is not done the way they want them to done when it comes to themselves. When things is not done on their behalf, when they feel attacked by something that they feel that should have been done their way, they play victim. But just stated that they not willing to even take on the task themselves. I mentioned about something to a master and they brushed it off. I said something about a task that was being completed. And I made a statement like, wow, another person was completing a terrific task. Like, wow, a task that needed to be done years ago. I'm going to just say that. And I was appalled that the worker taking the time out to just decide to do it. Wasn't told to do it. They just decided to do it because it needed to be done. And I told the human master, like, wow, that's awesome. Because if you look at it, that if that person hadn't decided to do it, we probably would have got a violation for that. The human master was like, as if I said something wrong. See, this is what I'm talking about. The human master know what I said was true. But the human master, like, I don't need you to tell me that. I know we could have got a violation for that, but I don't need you to tell me that. But it's true. And if that person hadn't done it, it would have been still looking the way it was looking. So I was confused about the reaction when I made the statement. Like, man, I'm glad that that's being done, because if that hadn't been done, we would have got a violation. Instead of the human master saying, yeah, you was absolutely right. I'm so well pleased at this person doing that. I know, man, oh my gosh, or whatever. Hey, man, I don't care. So, okay, I don't need you to rub that in my face. And then, as I'm there, never for once heard the person even congratulate the person for even doing it anyway. So what I'm saying, yeah, working for people is a butthole. That's why it pays to learn skills. That way you can have your own business. You can start working for yourself. And if you work for someone, you want to be able to work heartily, and develop skills working for someone so you can branch off and have your own business. Working for yourself is a beautiful thing. I've had that moment where I was working for someone, but it was as if I was working for myself. I did my own hours. I completed whenever I got done. I did my own thing and I went home. It wasn't no clock out, clock in, and nothing. It was as if I was working for myself, and it was a beautiful thing. So when you work for yourself, you don't have people over you. When you work for yourself, you don't have nobody degrading you. You don't have nobody behind your back degrading you. You don't have nobody all over your shoulder, not showing appreciation, showing under appreciation, talking about you. And, you don't have to deal with all that extra, because people just don't realize that even when you are a good worker, the pressure of not wanting to work or stay at your job is alone because of the vibe of your workers, the team, the boss. It's just the whole vibe of not showing appreciation, the gossips, the toxicity of the workplace. It's not so much about the task, to be honest. Because, like I said, if you see a train of people doing these tasks, if you see people just working, doing these tasks, it's going to influence you to take on that same task. Even if you may not be good at it, you're going to develop being good. You're going to develop the skills in becoming a good worker at certain tasks when you see everybody else doing it. What makes a job hard and difficult is the environment of the workers. The toxicity of the environment is people pressuring other workers with shenanigan nonsense. When you're somewhere and you're not feeling at home, that's not the place to be. And what I mean by, if you don't wake up and be so happy about going to work because you feel that you're a family with your workers, with your boss and all that, that's not the place to be. If you're somewhere where you feel, I just clock in and clock out and go home, I just want to go do my job and go home. That's cool. Do your job and go home, but it's not going to last long. It's not going to last long because the whole attitude of just being there sucks. And you're not going to want to put on extra tasks. You're not going to want to do it. Don't nobody else want to do it. They ain't willing to do it. Hell no, I ain't doing it. You got all that going on at the workplace. So things is just not going to get done. Work at it heartily as you're working for the Lord so you can get your reward. Even though we're talking about heavenly awards or rewards. But the point is, God is going to seek favor with you. He don't see favoritism as in, well, I don't want you doing it, so I ain't going to bless you with it. No, he's going to give you favor if you work at it heartily as if you're working for the Lord than the human master. Because if you're doing it for the human masters, then you're seeking favor from human masters and not from the Lord. See, it's a difference. I hope I broke this down to the best of my ability. People, let's quit with the buttholing and let's be fair with each other. Let's be fair with ourselves. Keep in mind, you cannot tell someone to put on a task, to take on a task, if you are not willing to do it yourself. You have to understand why they won't complete that task. You cannot say, well, that's what I pay you to do. If you specifically pay someone to do a job, they should do it. But if you're asking them to get out of their comfort zone of a specific task that you're paying them to do another task, you got to pay them. You got to pay them. Or be willing to do it yourself. I'm not saying they shouldn't do it. I'm saying if they don't happen to do it yourself. Why? Because it needs to be done. Shalom.